Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is IRYENI, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 223 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out, and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with GamerSupps, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, be sure to check out the link in the description, where you can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your purchases. And also I want to say, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes of some brand new mods each and every single week. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods. And starting us off, we have a community loading screen mod called the Modswell Community Loading Screen Replacer. Now the mod page reads that this is a composition of a bunch of amazing screenshots taken by members of Modswell's Discord server, and there's about 50 different screens in total. And if you haven't heard of Modswell, he's actually a very talented content creator here on YouTube who also covers console mods. And with his fanbase gathering over 50 different screenshots for this mod here, both consisting of Xbox and PC screenshots, every time you go through a loading screen you'll be meted with a new beautiful picture that just showcases a different area in Skyrim. The appearance of these screens will be random, so there's not any type of trigger that you have to do to get a loading screen, and each of these pictures also has its own silly or just for fun or not so lore friendly text to go with it. This mod really just fits everything I'm looking for. You know, there's not any over-the-top screenshots that'll just take your immersion out. Each screenshot is carefully placed, and there's 50 in total, so you'll always be seeing a different one. This mod is also half the memory of our previous loading screen mod, so if you're also looking for more space, this could be a good option for you. But all around, this is a great mod to download. So if you're looking to see some new high-quality screenshots for every single loading screen that you trigger, then the Modswell Community Loading Screen Replacer is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have a brand new extension to Riften called the Riften Docks Overhaul. Now the mod page reads that this mod is a combination of 5 different mods, those being the Riften Docks Overhaul, the Deck and Pier at Honeyside, as well as the Riften Fish Market, the Riften Dock Pathways, and the Better Docks mod. These mods give the Riften Docks some much needed tweaks as well as improved aesthetics, consistency, and integration with other mods. There's a fish market with custom foods and NPCs with their own schedule, as well as a better decorated Honeyside deck with a pathway to a small island from the Deck and Pier at Honeyside Riften. There's also larger docks with dock workers added by the Better Docks mod, and pathways connecting Honeyside to the main docks in the western part of Riften exterior. Now, out of all the areas to pay attention to and actually fix using a remaster, we have a Riften Docks remaster that completely transforms the Riften Docks as a whole. So if you're someone who spends a lot of time in Riften or maybe purchased Honeyside, you could definitely get the little pier off to the side of your Honeyside house, and it's really the icing on the cake for those people who spend a lot of time in Riften. I also thought it was really cool how from the inside of Riften, if you look through the docks through the outside, they actually took the time to build the Riften Docks on the outside even though you're on the interior cell. So with all these mods combined into one 10.80 megabyte mod, you'll have the best Riften Docks that you could possibly imagine, and that's why this mod's featured here at our number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Riften Docks Overhaul. Coming in at our number 3 spot, I hope you guys are ready to get your hands dirty because we're going to war. This is IA92'S Warzone V2. Now the Warzone mod I've actually used in previous load order videos, but this is the version 2 of it, which means they added so many new features as well as added to their previous features, and the features that are focused on in this version of Warzone include huge battles. The mod page reads that they've added more battlefields in Skyrim, and in this mod, the Imperials and Thalmor will fight in the wilderness, with massive numbers of soldiers ranging from 40. You can fast travel on some of the Warzone, but for most of the encounters you'll have to find on foot. These NPCs are unique, so it doesn't ruin any quest lines or any of the affecting existing vanilla NPCs, and their faces no longer have that gray face bug here, which was actually a huge problem, and one of the reasons why I removed the original Warzone is everyone had that pixely face glitch inside the Warzone mod. But this has been completely fixed in this version of Warzone, and you'll have tons of clean battles with NPCs that actually look right. Now when it comes to the soldiers on the battlefield, they're pretty balanced. They just changed the weaponry for Imperial soldiers to give them more diversity, and Imperial soldiers will use a mix of level weapons and shields. And if you have any throwing weapons installed, they'll also use throwing knives as well as throwing spears. It's just a huge battlefield and it looks awesome. The Thalmor, of course, will stick to their elven weaponry as usual, and these fights should trigger whenever you enter near the area of the fight. It's also compatible with any of the other mods you might have right now, including the 150 that I have on my list as well. I didn't have any frame rate issues at all, which is actually really surprising to me just by the sheer amount of NPCs that are on my screen at once here. And as you can see, as I'm out on the battlefield right now, this is an absolute bloodbath. But this is just scratching the surface of the mod because there's so many different wars that you can find throughout the world of Skyrim, but these fights can happen anywhere and any time in the game, so you should always be prepared whenever you go exploring the wilds. So if you're looking for a new mod that actually capitalizes on the war of Skyrim and actually makes it feel like its actual battlefield, then the IA92'S Warzone V2 is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it adds so many epic fights into the game that you can either watch or take part in, so this would be perfect for any type of warrior character that you may have out there, and that's why it's featured here at our number 3 spot, so I'd recommend downloading it and giving the Warzone a try for yourself. Coming in at our number 2 spot, if you thought the Riften Docks Overhaul was good, just wait until we expand Riften even more with the Riften Extension Southwoods District mod. The mod page reads that this mod extends Riften beyond its walls with a new district running along the southern road. It includes 7 buildings, an outdoor eating space, and 20 NPCs, all with their own AI packages. Riften now extends south along the road to the Golden Glow Estate with a new district outside its walls. The goal of this mod is to show more life and activity in the city, and to stay consistent with the idea of a one-time economic and trade powerhouse now fallen into poverty. This now includes 9 custom voice-acted NPCs, a complete quest with a dungeon and 2 possible endings, as well as a small errand quest. These new buildings include a new weavery and tailor that sells normal clothing, a hunter store selling pelts, meat, and bows, as well as the Riften Workhouse, which employs most of the city's poor in various menial jobs. The buildings that surround the outdoor eating areas where the residents of the district will gather and carouse at night, and among these new NPCs there's also servers selling food and a bard for the outdoor eating area, as well as a merchant for some of the illicit goods for outlaws, as well as an enchanting trainer. This Southwoods district is also integrated into the Thieves Guild plotline in such a minor way. When standing next to the stone just south of Riften, the player can talk to the guild contract inside the workhouse for a way into the pass. This does not impact any of the vanilla quest scripting, as Karliah and Brynjolf simply teleport to and from the area by default. So not only were we able to get an extension to Riften, but they could also extend the questline to the Thieves Guild just a little bit to implement the city in its own way, just like the Southwoods district was part of the original game. Now normally whenever we get expansion mods that add to a city, we really just get a bunch of buildings that are, people's houses, and it's not really much to go off of, but with this extension we have a bunch of new, vendors and people to talk to, as well as people that gather outside, servers, as well as bards that you can get to sing outside as well. So if you spend a lot of time in Riften and you maybe want to expand it and make it feel like a brand new city, then I'd strongly recommend downloading the Riften Extension Southwood District, and on top of that also getting the Riften Docks Overhaul that was our number 2 spot, and then you will have the most transformed and remastered Riften imaginable. Coming in on our number 1 spot, we have a brand new mod that allows you to travel to the Summerset Isles and partake in war. We have the Assault on Summerset Isle here today. And the mod page reads, it's payback time. After warring against squads after squads of Thalmor soldiers in Skyrim, an example the IA92'S Warzone mod that was our number 3 spot, it's time to take the fight directly to the Thalmor of their home province of Summerset Isle. Gear up as you and an army of Skyrim's finest head south to lay waste to the Thalmor strongholds on their homelands. Now the Thalmor, that elven race that's gained power throughout Tamriel, has invaded Hammerfell, Valenwood, Elswire, Cyrodiil, and now Skyrim. They think they can just pocket Skyrim in their lust for expansion and dominance by splitting the province within the Silver War, by using the war to conquer Skyrim too. Well, as Ulfric and Tullius stated, that even when the war is over, they'll be taking the fight to the Thalmor. Well, that fight is now started. At the Windhelm docks, there's a ship called the Berserker, and you can gear up, gather some followers, board the ship, and join in with the Skyrim army as you sail to the east coast of Summerset Isle, and instantly start to lay waste to the island. The Nords and Imperials have had enough of the Thalmor's tyranny and are stopping at nothing to get revenge on them. While on the Summerset Isle, you'll march your way further west, battling your way further into the interior of the province. But warning, as you get closer to the middle of the Summerset, the fighting gets that much more difficult. Now there's 4 areas here in the Summerset Isle that you'll have an opportunity to visit and fight in. This is an absolutely huge mod, so it would be impossible for me to cover it in such a short time frame here, so I'll allow you guys to actually make the decision if you want me to make a separate video on the assault. Maybe I can make a little playthrough video, kind of like how I did last week. We had, you know, the Nemesis mod, and I actually had him chase me throughout the game, and we see if we could beat Skyrim while being chased. Maybe we could do the same thing this week here, and actually do the assault on Summerset Isle, and see if we can get through it all together. I think that would be really fun, so if you want to see a video like that, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, if you're looking to go to war in Skyrim and you maybe don't want to do it on your home soil, take the war to the Summerset Isles and download the assault on Summerset Isle and partake in this war for yourself. And that's why this is featured here at our number 1 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading it and storming the Summerset Isle for yourself. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.